Actually, we should talk about my alma mater a little bit.
Syracuse. Oh, yeah.
What happened in Syracuse?
There was the racist fraternity rant or something like that.
I'll explain why that's funny.
Okay. Oh.
3 seconds, guys. 3. You guys, is everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Blamestorming. Blamestorming. In a post-truth world, there's plenty of blame to go around. 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 Join Dave Cyrus and Marissa Smith as they blamestorm about today's hot topics.
Hey guys, welcome to Blamestorming. I'm Marissa Smith. I've got Dave Cyrus with me.
She certainly does.
I've got Eli Sayers with me.
Hello. What's up? Thank you.
And I have Matt Marin with me.
Yep. How you guys doing? I didn't just watch Dave mouth my name to Marissa.
Well, as she started introing you, I saw this look of terror on her face that I assumed was because she did not know either your name.
You should have let her sit in it for a minute, for just a second.
I mean, she does all the work.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
So, I'm not feeling well. So I'd already told him that he might need to take the lead, and I think he realized I'm just like, oh shit, I just had a total brain fart. So, Dave, how you doing?
Good, thank you for asking. Hey, everybody. So Marissa's not feeling well, she says, so I'm going to be in charge.
Oh, nice, dude.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about today, don't we?
We do. Tons of stuff.
Here's the thing. It's supposed to be like news politics, I think, but we can talk about whatever. So we can talk about our guests first, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm just trying to have conversation before it's all Cosby, because I don't know when this is airing, but Cosby was found guilty today.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with the Mean Boys, another great podcast. Well, a great podcast. No reason to yank myself into that. And we were like, it was nice seeing genuine excitement from a bunch of white guys about someone being convicted of rape.
Not genuine excitement from white guys seeing a black guy get convicted of a crime.
Well,
yeah, there's really two ways to look at this.
Well, that's my thing is I feel like Fox News is really unsure how to play this, because on one hand they hate Me Too stories that aren't toward people they already had a problem with.
Yeah.
But he's also black, but he also told black kids to pull up their pants and stop cursing.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a lot of conflict, and he's rich and powerful, and they have nostalgia for him. There's so much confliction.
Yeah.
Conflict. Sorry. That's not a word.
And he I don't know. It's well, I don't know if this would count as a Me Too story.
It predates Me Too.
It predates Me Too.
But on some level,
Me Too, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the origin story.
The world was changing.
Put it in comic book terms.
Because we'd heard stuff about Cosby before, no one cared until Hannibal Buress kind of blew it up.
Had you? I feel like I've never felt like I'm less of a real comic than when every time these come up, like, oh, it was everyone new in comedy. I'm just like, I guess I wasn't in comedy.
I actually don't even mean in comedy. I mean from references.
I didn't know until the Hannibal thing.
It was on his
Family
Wikipedia.
Guy.
It was on his Wikipedia page.
The accusation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think we all thought it was one or two. And when it is with the famous people, we always had this assumption that they're not true. And then suddenly we're like, oh, it's 30 women.
Yeah.
Now it's 40 women.
Yeah.
Now it's 62. I mean.
Yeah.
I think it came to the forefront when Janice Dickerson wrote about it in her autobiography.
Yeah, that was a big part of it too, but I mean, we found out how many people knew someone. I mean, Judd Apatow was known for tweeting about it a lot, and right at the beginning, he knew something we didn't. And I'm gonna
before everything went crazy, he tweeted about it.
It was after Hannibal, but he was so specific that
he really knew.
I think it's been implied that he knew of other stories that hadn't come out.
Interesting.
Just from being in the industry.
I mean, I don't know if anyone knew how many it was, but most of the the amount of times I'll go on Wikipedia and just look up an actor for something else, and then you see the section where it's controversy, and you find out they beat their wife or they were accused of something. There's a lot more actors and stuff out that there's stuff about that we just forget. It was news for a day, and then people don't remember.
Yeah, no, that's totally true. Because wife beating. Man, have we learned to forget about that.
Yeah.
There's so many beloved actors out there that we forget.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, Magneto.
Did Magneto beat his wife?
Fassbender was accused of beating his fiance, and
oh, I didn't even hear about that.
Exactly.
That sucks, dude.
I mean, and I don't know the backstory. Look, not every single one of these.
Do you have braces or something?
But most of them are.
Yeah, you don't know what she did.
Right, you don't know what she said. We don't know how the conversation started. And this is a short skip and a jump to us being alt-right bloggers
Look.
now. That's how it starts.
You knew
get
who
that
you-
positive attention.
You knew
I
who
let
you
Dave
booked.
be in charge once.
Yeah.
Look, this is who you booked. You booked these two borderline homeless.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you guys do have a lot in common in the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Of being, you're both big wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Eli's a huge wrestling fan,
Oh,
and Matt was a wrestler.
Yeah.
And
what
is
was
huge.
What
And-
was your now Matt Marin? What was your wrestling name?
Nick Matthews, very unoriginal. I was like 15 and I picked out Shawn Michaels had switched his middle name and his first name, and as soon as I heard about that, I was like, when I was 15, like, I'll do that with my name. I'll be Nick Matthews. One day when I'll have to protect my anonymity because of how famous I'm gonna be.
It is funny because it's just like the most fun thing about a child dreaming of being a wrestler is the name. Is like they're thinking about what's my persona going to be. So you just wanted to be like a regular guy.
Well, when I was like really young, my middle name is Nicholas, so my initials are MNM, and I remember the first like WWE video game I got, I made my name MNM, and then when the rapper Eminem got big, I felt like he stole my name.
That's funny.
And
I think that's what
couldn't
happened.
do it Yeah, and I couldn't do it anymore. But yeah, then I wanted to be like Shawn Michaels was, or like Chris Jericho. Like they had kind of regular names.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes
They were
sense,
just-
yeah.
I mean, Jericho is at least a little bit, haughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something, it's like in the Bible. So.
Yeah, the walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had guys that I was a fan of, but I didn't think I was going to be The Rock or The Undertaker.
Now,
I
here's
didn't
the thing.
see myself being that.
His name is Chris Jericho, which is a normal name, but then he chose to take possibly the cheesiest name in the history of wrestling. You can finish the sentence, right?
What do you mean?
Y2J.
Oh, Y2J.
Oh,
Oh,
and
his nickname. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he became Y2J in like 99, and he's
Yeah.
still Y2J.
Hey, it's stuck, man.
Yeah.
It's stuck. He still does the countdown. I still get nervous every time the countdown happens. I'm like, is everything gonna end?
Yeah.
Is it gonna crash?
That's like
funny.
his.
His intro has a 10, 9, 8, 7. The
So
countdown.
Yeah.
speaking of wrestling, which is about just the concept of like everyone sort of pretending to believe something at once. Because I had a discussion on this other show about like why is wrestling okay?
I call it very painful live theater.
Well, I said it's like
Yeah.
it's the same reason. It's like you're watching a ballet more
It's
than
like
yeah,
more than watching a sport.
blue collar soap operas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's because it represents something that like we want to see.
Yeah.
That we can't really see in real life, which is like an actual like war battle.
Yeah, we don't want to see that.
But yeah, speaking of that, let's get back to Cosby because that's about another thing that people pretend.
Another thing that didn't actually happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Another made up thing.
But I mean, the thing about Cosby that I love is like you get to find out exactly who you shouldn't trust your drink around because the guys who are really mad about this.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, the people who are trying to change the subject and like being like, "Oh, well, this is just about racism. I mean, why is he convicted but Harvey Weinstein isn't?" Like, because his fucking trial didn't start yet. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is kind of like, I don't know, like the 2018 version of OJ, because I feel like it's definitely, people are very conflicted about how they feel about it, and I think that there's no middle ground for it. I just kind of feel like everyone is just like, oh, he's completely guilty, or no, he didn't do it, this is all lies. Like,
I mean, the thing is, it's obviously one of those is true. And I think that's fair.
Well,
that, like,
even if you're in the middle, like I only think it was 27 people.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's what I've always
Even in the middle is pretty bad.
right. That's what I've always said. I'm always just like, look, 62 women accused him. If you think that those women are liars, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to take your side. I bet at least one, maybe two of these women are lying. He probably only raped 60 women.
He beat Roger
If-
Maris.
If 61 are lying, he should still go to jail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the odds of that many women lying. Like, if this was a conspiracy, wouldn't you stop at 3? If you were really like hiring women to lie about someone, the
Yeah.
4th woman, they'd be like, "Dude, you're going. What are you crazy?
Yeah.
4 women. That's it's
I
more
don't
than
know.
enough."
The only thing that makes it unbelievable, like as a comic, you would have thought he would have tried to get to 69
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's
or
not
420.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably closer to that.
Yeah, I think that's
The
because that's
real
the thing. I'll
total.
bet it is probably more than 62, right?
62 is the number of women who said it happened.
Yeah.
There's definitely women out there who did not say
Yeah,
anything.
if I know anything
Yeah.
about women, it's that they don't talk enough.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go. I like that you're here to make. I like that Matt's here to make me seem like not as offensive. Because if it was just me, y'all would just be mad at me the whole time. But now I can count on Matt to say
gotta-
something after me.
Yeah. You
Well, this
carry,
is-
carry me around like a reverse guardian angel.
This is one of those tests to see, like, how willing am I to serve the joke only?
Yeah.
And not care about the things we accidentally say.
Oh
'cause-
man, you hear
Yeah.
that, man? He's still got like a shred of soul left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what that's like.
Oh, it's more of a, hope of a lasting career.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Matt waved
Yeah.
goodbye on that a long time
Yeah.
ago. We're going for broke.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing about, I was talking about Woody Allen the other day, and with Woody Allen, it's like, I think you have more of a right to say, I don't know. When it's one accuser, you can't.
He married his daughter.
Yeah, but like when she
It's
was like
his
not a
daughter.
child. Well, no, it wasn't his daughter. It
He
was
was
his,
adopt-
it was
he
his
adopted her.
No, it was his girlfriend's. He never married Mia Farrow. It was his girlfriend's adopted daughter.
But wasn't he also a guardian of
He
her?
did not live in the house, and he never actually married her.
I think that he was
his
a
wife.
guardian.
Maybe he was a guardian, but I know that
But,
he did
like,
not
I
live
think
in
he-
that house. I'm not saying there's anything defensible about the fact that he married Soon
What
Yi.
about an
It
emergency?
seems like you've researched a lot of the defense.
Yeah,
It seems
it's
like you've had this conversation
If anything,
before.
I think
Seen
that
a lot
there's
of the
no
movies.
like question about it. It's like he married his daughter. Like I believe
But that's not
every
the,
story.
But the accusation has nothing to do with Soon Yi. She never accused him
Yeah.
of doing anything.
No, but
That's
his
true.
other daughter said that he molested her, which makes me believe it because he married another daughter.
Right, but his real daughter said that she was molested by him, and Soon Yi was someone he didn't even meet till she was like in like junior high. It's not like he raised. this girl.
That's old enough.
I think that's
He did not have sex with her. Like, I'm not trying to defend.
We don't know
Woody.
if he had sex with her or not.
I assume Woody did.
She also doesn't look like she's like working with a full deck.
Well, I don't know that. She's probably, able to clean herself and just live her life.
Wait, what's her name again?
Soon Yi.
Oh, I saw her. She does look weird for a white girl.
Oh, that's funny. Yes, she does. She's got
does.
like some kind of genetic problem. which
I don't know. I like my instinct, my gut reaction is the same as yours. It's like, oh, he did this creepy thing with his adopted daughter or whatever. So yeah, it must be. But I try to get away from that line because like the wrestler Enzo.
Yeah.
You guys keep bringing this shit back to
That's
wrestling.
okay.
Oh, it's get ready for the next.
Enzo, that's the guy who used to be Little Guido.
Like, why am I even here?
No, little
You're here to
Guido's
learn.
a different wrestler.
Okay.
He but a woman
I think
accused
my
him
ovaries just dried up.
accused him of rape, and stuff came out about how she has mental issues and has exaggerated things in the past, and people use that to debunk it, and I think that's not fair. It's like just because she's like, yeah, maybe she's sketchy, but that doesn't mean she didn't get raped. And
Well,
maybe Woody Allen's sketchy, but that doesn't mean that he raped someone.
If anything, rapists.
Right.
are
I think
just,
he probably did.
He
but
probably-
I don't.
no,
yeah,
yeah,
but I
probably
don't.
did.
Rapists are going to just start targeting mentally unhealthy people.
Yeah, I get worried about
They
that kind of
already
thing.
do.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
if saying a girl is crazy, why would rapists not just go after crazy women if that was a get out of jail free card? But
Yeah.
with Janice Dickinson, when she was on her trial with Cosby, they said to her, they were like, the lawyer who got her to say goes, well, so you're saying that there are some things in your book that aren't
Yeah.
true? And she goes, well, yes, so you lie. And it's like, really? Is that the threshold? If a woman ever lies about anything, you get to rape her? That's the argument they're making.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
No, and you're right. If a girl is crazy or has lied before, or has been raped before, it doesn't mean that this guy's innocent.
In
Yeah.
courts in general, it's just because there's a jury of people who you're trying to convince. It's if you can point out someone's lied or been dishonest at some point, then
Dude, it's such a sick emotional game.
It creates like cracks in their credibility, and you could believe that they're trying to get a jury to believe
They're
that
performing.
They could lie.
Yeah, they're manipulating a crowd.
How about the fact that like these defense attorneys, I'm guessing, pretty much go into every trial when they're doing the jury selection, being like, all right, which one of these guys looks like he did rape somebody?
Yeah.
Because that's who I want on this jury. I want a guy who's completely internalizing the crimes here. And I mean,
Just an all frat boy jury.
yeah, no, of course, they're probably looking for guys who
Lambda,
just look,
Pi, something or other.
yeah, the worst.
all
dudes possible.
Syracuse fraternity members.
Mr. Van Wilder, if you could read the verdict, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, real quick, let's talk about Syracuse for a second. I went to Syracuse. Very proud of my time there.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
More proud now, right?
Yes, exactly. I did not join a frat. I think that's important to say. I was in the art
Wait,
school.
you don't say. No.
No.
I was in the art school, so I was very proud.
You didn't think they were racist enough.
No, I mean, I just didn't want to have the structure behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Theta, the Theta boys, got kicked off. They had their frat dissolved in Syracuse for. You guys see the video?
No, I didn't watch
I
it.
saw the video. It's pretty bad.
It's a bunch of like exactly what you think. A bunch of giggling 18-year-old boys talking, using the N-word and saying "kike" for Jews, and it was one of those like
They would say, "I do solemnly swear to hate Jews."
Yeah, and it was
that
and
was
they're all like
part of the
that was
part of the
part of the
initiation.
and they're all
Oh, boy.
and like it was so you knew exactly what it was. Like the guy would have the excuse, like, we don't really hate Jews. It's just it's funny to do bad things because like it's like first the guy makes him like pretend
point.
to suck his dick, and then he says like, you have hatred in your heart for where the sentence is going. And
It's probably all people who comment on me and Eli's roast battle videos.
yeah, it's exactly the same people, and they're all laughing because it's that kind of like really hacky, like, oh, he said the N-word, we're dangerous. And here's the funny thing: when I went to Syracuse, that frat was known as the cooler of the frats, the less fratty of
Theta?
the frats. Theta.
That's like that sounds like a gay person saying the word beta. That sounds so pussyish. Like, how's that a frat? Theta.
Yeah, we're the Thetas. And no, they were known as like the less douchey, less like
They were the
traditional.
tame ones.
Yeah, which I don't know, either that's no longer true or I suspect it's still true and the other ones are worse.
You know what I suspect? I suspect that a huge chunk of 18-year-old to 19 and 20-year-old white men go through a phase where they think saying the worst thing ever is funny. I think a lot of us did, especially people getting into comedy. You go through that phase, you outgrow it. I don't know.
I mean, we've all seen white guys with jean shorts saying the N-word on an open mic because they're edgy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a real problem. And
Too
it's-
dark for me to handle.
I'm more offended with the jean shorts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm mad about.
You look like you sleep in jean shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's like, why are they wearing their pajamas on stage?
Matt looks like every rapist defense attorney's dream for a jury.
Is this a video podcast also?
Yes,
I
I
hope
can
so.
see it.
Okay,
Oh, it is?
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
they can see you.
Okay, good,
Because
good.
I was like, are we doing look like jokes now on an audio?
Yeah, they can see that you're wearing your dress sleeveless shirt.
Good. So I look like everything I've said so far,
Yes.
so it works.
It's perfect.
I just like to think that Dave brings everyone on this show to get out all the roast jokes that didn't make the cut during the battle.
Yeah.
He says, well, I still have to use these, so
Yeah.
come on the show. And
It's actually not a bad idea. I could cycle through a lot.
you know what I would love? I think doing battles, a B-side battle would be fun. Where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
completely off the record, just for fun, probably only comics, because we can all laugh about how bad some of the jokes are.
Just do a Fight
Like,
Club.
yeah, where
Yeah.
you just do the
that.
jokes where it's like, these are the ones that they were terrible, but I wrote it down, and I think it's funny how bad this joke is.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah.
be fun. I don't know.
Now we should explain. Matt is the host of Comedy Fight Club,
Yeah.
which is every Sunday at Lucky Jack's
Yeah.
in the city at like 10:30.
Yeah.
It's a great show. It's
awesome.
anytime I meet any comic who's like trying to get into comedy, I tell them like, if you want to prove people you're good at this, you should really roast battle, especially
Yeah.
if you don't have any like credits, and you should start a Fight Club. Like,
Yeah.
and they never do it because they're always terrified. But I'm always just like. Because you'll be at roast battle.
They don't
I
even
wanna
know, they
do
don't even know
this.
the concept. They just see Matt in the doorway and they're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm leaving. I'm going home.
They're just like, I don't want to go into the basement wherever something we're not
They-
supposed
Yeah,
to talk
Matt
about
saying,
happens.
come into my basement.
Yeah. They see me, they're like, I don't want to do it. Who else runs it? Oh, this guy with no hands. Okay, I'm definitely out now.
Because one of our other previous guests, Chris Crespo,
Yeah.
is one of the main people. He's one
Great
of the
kid.
court.
He's our
Hilarious.
mascot.
He's great.
Yeah, technically, you have the mascot, the Duchess, the
bishop.
the bishop,
And the spirit animal.
the spirit animal. Yeah,
Fun show.
and the social media guy who does not
Yes.
earn his own
Yeah,
title.
he puts everything up, but he messes up enough. The fact that he puts everything up, no matter how much he messes up with like typos or anything, it's like, all right, he still puts it up online. So
Yeah, no, Comedy Fight Club's great because it's like everyone kind of knows each other, and you can
Yeah.
do like inside shit, and it's I honestly, it's something that I feel like could be really big.
Oh, yeah.
Like if
I
more
would
people
love
knew
that,
about
yeah.
it, because I've said it should be a show.
Yeah.
It should be a show, and I think it was a show with 2 celebrity guests and then Twitter. If you had a live show where Twitter could vote on it, I
Ooh.
think that's my whole thing.
Yeah, the fans will
I
be
think
into
you
it.
They got rid of them at midnight. That could be the
Yeah.
new like live Twitter kind of show.
And we've talked about the judging would be horribly off, but it
Oh,
would
yeah.
still be fun if the general public got to vote.
Oh, it
Yeah,
it
no,
would
we're
be
gonna hate
so bad.
We're gonna hate their decisions.
Yeah.
You just have to not worry about the wins and losses.
But
and be like,
exactly,
just
and
have
even
fun.
even if they do, even a Fight Club, if like an applause goes one way or another, I see everyone. I'll call people out for clapping for the wrong person too,
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah,
still
yeah.
up there hosting. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
vote comes in and then we just have to live with it. I can shit on the vote also.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of fight, sorry.
What's the most memorable joke that like you remember from Fight Club? Like, what's the thing that you're just like, oh shit, and like it just stuck with you?
It's usually more recent ones. Just this past week, we had Pauline Murphy against Mikey Mays, and Pauline's a white Staten Island girl against Mikey, black guy from New Mexico, and Mikey was adopted, and so Pauline said about Mikey, he was adopted, and he posts on Facebook all about hoes and bitches. So, how do you talk about pussy so much when you were ghosted by the one you came out of?
Nice. I like that. I like that.
So it's usually, I'll remember like ones.
That's great.
Some will stand out, but usually I remember the ones from like the most recent week or so, like my favorite ones, because I mean we do it every week. It's easy to forget a lot of them.
There was one I was at recently that it was so perfect because it was a girl. The one where it was a girl a guy who made out in college a few years ago.
They matched on Tinder, and they never really dated, and she wanted to.
She wanted to fuck him, and every joke she did, she would start a regular roast joke, and it would misdirect back to, why didn't you fuck me?
So
and
funny.
then it built up so much because the crowd was so into it because she would do different ways if you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And ending with it.
And then he just gets the mic in overtime, and he goes, you want to go out sometime? And the crowd erupted.
And he won, and he deserved to win off that. It was, and hopefully they fucked that.
Who were they? What were they?
Stu Melton and Caroline Doyle.
Okay, I don't know if I know Caroline. I know Stu.
It was really good. And because Stu had to do like regular roast jokes back to these, and the fact that he like stayed in there and had decent jokes was really impressive.
She was just saying how badly she wanted to fuck him, and then he was like saying
he's
awful things about her.
Then she's saying, I really wanted you to fuck me, and then he's saying basically why he didn't.
Yeah,
in his jokes. Anyway, we've been bouncing around like this Cosby thing because I don't want to let that go. It's okay to be this happy, right? Like,
about Cosby?
Yeah, about Cosby.
Just like happy that it all
about
happened?
the conviction. Excuse me.
Yeah, but about the 62 women, you're just thrilled.
I mean, this was one of those things where like I knew so many women who were 100% sure that a guy as powerful as Cosby would never be convicted.
Yeah.
And my friend Hannah had a really good tweet about it. She was just like, this is a really great day for every woman who has 62 people to corroborate her story.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. No, it's good to see like somebody who has the means to seemingly get away with something not get away with it.
And this is, I mean,
and that'll make so many rich people like think twice because they've thought they're above morality and the law for so long, and I feel like
a lot of people had to watch this and get personally worried.
Yeah.
Other people, all the Me Too people had to start feeling like this is going to be dominoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I didn't understand is why everyone made it about the Me Too movement. This shouldn't have anything to do with Me Too.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to, convict a rapist before it. And honestly, the Me Too movement should not have really factored into any jury decision. If it did, that's a little unfortunate because it shouldn't. It should be 100% about that case, which he definitely did.
I think it definitely did because the last trial he didn't get convicted. So I don't know. I'm conflicted about it because I feel like yes, he probably did something. I don't necessarily know that he did exactly what is said that he has done. And I also kind of feel like a lot of these women did take money. They had like non-disclosures. And I think once you take the money, you kind of need to shut up about it because you've already been paid off about it. I also kind of feel like, why did it take this long? And I don't know, like some of these women, it's been like 30 years, 40 years, and now you're just starting to say something. And then the one woman, that's that Andrea, whatever her name is, the
Constant?
Yeah.
The one who actually the trial was, yeah.
Exactly. Like, so...
And she was the only one who had happened recently enough that they could actually not lose the statute.
And also got paid like $3.2 million.
Yeah, she did.
So like, and I think that now was that from a civil case or
Yes,
was that okay?
That was a civil suit.
But then she also had a settlement with him before the civil suit, I believe. That was like maybe $1 million or something like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of, I feel like. Yes, he probably did something, but at the same time, if I feel like a lot of these women, they went to his room or his house or whatever, knew something was going to go on, and it just didn't go down the way that they expected.
Yeah, at the same time, for him to go 62 for 62 and he was railroaded each time is really, really hard to swallow.
That's what I'm saying. That like I think that he did something. But but I don't necessarily know that he did all of this.
Well, if you're a serial rapist, someone out there is going to try to cash in, and fuck you. Yeah, let him. You shouldn't have raped all those women if you didn't want women to cry wolf about it also. I mean, the guy's a serial rapist.
Yeah, I mean, even if they did like go to his room knowing he was gonna put moves on him, like they didn't. There's no way they could expect to be drugged. You know what I mean?
Right, and it seems like.
But I also feel like
he doesn't
in
want
a lot of
regular sex.
these, well, I think
He's a
that's
somnophile.
well, that's
Huh?
he's. I think he has like a necrophiliac fetish.
No,
like
somnophile.
fetish. Oh, okay.
Somnophile is someone who has a fetish for having sex with unconscious women, because some of these women were in sexual relationships with him, were having consensual sex with him,
But he did that anyway.
and he still drugged them
Whoa.
out because that was his fetish, and I think it has something to do with his whole guilt thing.
You know,
Like,
we
he's just
should
a
make it
moralist.
legal to fuck dead people.
I mean, it's better than
That would have
sleeping people.
stopped it, right? Yeah, that
Yeah.
would have been. Maybe
Better
that would
than
have stopped it. I don't know.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously, I would much rather you have sex with me while dead than sleeping.
Yeah,
That's just me.
We should all donate our bodies to
Yeah.
To sex.
as sex
Yeah.
workers. We'll be
No, that
post-mortem sex workers.
That should be a part of donating your body to science, the scientific advancements in preventing somnophilia.
yeah.
I feel like that's one of those long-term, societal changes that.
And they give money to like your family or like your kid going to college. Whoa, this is like y'all want to start this like business, like chalk up a
We
business
just have
model.
a cottage industry right now.
This is
Yeah.
holy shit.
I'm gonna start checking websites.
It's like donating a liver or a kidney after you die.
Yeah,
You just donate your booty.
I'm assuming fuckmybody.com is taken, but .biz might not be. So let's-
You could also
And
do
for,
.net.
and for kids who die to necrophilic
Lord.
pedophiles.
Yeah, see what I said about how he takes the heat off me? I love it.
There
I'm
you
so
go.
glad you're sitting
Yeah.
here.
See, I
Maybe what I said
It's
a
like
1,000 times
school
less
shooting.
It's like a
offensive.
douchey buffer.
School shootings now have a benefit.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, they've got extra holes
Right.
now. There you go.
And she topped all of us. I love it. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Man, if Newtown had actually happened, then that would be like a lot of new kids.
Once again, this is how it starts. We're hilarious. It's fun.
This is how you get kicked out of a damn frat.
Next thing you
That's how your frat gets busted.
next thing you know, you're headlining.
Look, we're judging these frat boys, but look what we just said laughing. Like, we're idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we better than
What
these
do you mean
frat boys?
we?
You. I, Dave Cyrus, just said that Newtown didn't happen. I want to go on the record that I agree with my friend and mentor, Alex Jones.
Yeah.
And I, Dave Cyrus, do not believe Newtown happened.
Well, why don't you and Aaron Berg go do the White Guys Matter show and just enjoy yourselves?
Because I don't know
They
if
just
the
tear
listeners
everything down with
realize that Dave is Jewish.
Right. That's
I
something-
am too actually.
I assume.
Oh,
most people
and
know-
Matt.
Dave
there-
just looks.
Yeah, but he has a lot of
Yeah.
features that just cancel it out.
Yeah, no
So-
one believes I am.
It's important to understand. Every episode, at some point, I have to make sure the audience knows that Marissa's black, and that's why she's defending Bill Cosby, because otherwise, they may not know, and then they're not going to
really
realize how
defending
open-minded
him.
I am.
And I'm white, and I'm condemning him because I have no other choice.
Right.
What am I going to say?
No, I think that with Bill, he did it when you what I meant with Woody Allen was if you're accused by one person, you probably did it.
Oh, and me and Dave are Jewish. That's why
Yeah.
we're defending Woody
Right.
Allen.
Yes. If
Yeah,
if
exactly.
Woody Allen
Jewish Cosby.
if you're
Yeah.
accused by two people,
Almost definitely.
you
Yeah.
almost certainly did it. Three people,
Yeah.
either this is like one of the greatest conspiracies ever, or you're guilty. By the fifth,
Unless
person,
they're
it's
evil
rid-
triplets.
Yeah.
They're just sinister evil triplets. Then, yeah.
Bill
if you have
Cosby
three
is
people.
one of the most prolific serial rapists in history. There's so many, and none of these women. Very few of these women got money out of it. The vast majority got nothing.
Well, I think that gymnast doctor guy had more body count than
Oh yeah,
Cosby.
Larry Nasser had
Yeah.
like.
They're neck and
Yeah.
neck. But also
No,
Larry,
Larry
Nasser
Nasser was like
in the
150,
hundreds. He was in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Well, I think Larry Nasser is probably getting a higher percentage of the women he abused coming forward than Cosby is.
Can you, Matt, go revive your Long Island wrestling career as Larry Nassau? That would be pretty sick.
This is my Coliseum.
Yeah. And it'll be like King Kong Bundy with the midgets, but I just have a bunch of 10-year-old
Bunch
girls.
of kids.
Wow. Yeah. I opened for King Kong Bundy once.
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah, nice guy.
God damn it.
Not the best comic, but
So you get
And
all
we're
this stuff
back
that me
to
and Matt
wrestling.
would love. You were
There
just
was
talking
a-
earlier. Oh,
yeah.
I was in New Orleans. I didn't even know WrestleMania was in New Orleans, and I just got to go for free. Me and Matt would
you
love
guys
to
would
go.
have lost your mind.
I did a wrestling show back when I was wrestling. There was they would have like a bunch of like independent workers that nobody knew on a show, and they would have like one big. Sometimes the main event would be a big name to draw an audience, but here they would have an autograph signing, and it was King Kong Bundy doing an autograph signing. That was the main draw. Also, there was a wrestling show show with people you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And it was like King Kong Bundy like changed separate, like it was in a room separate from us. He didn't want to meet any of the wrestlers, so we didn't even get a chance to meet him. He was on the show. He was the main. He didn't even wrestle. He just like had a table signing autographs.
Oh, he ain't wrestling.
Before the show and after the show.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you didn't wrestle.
And we were just told that we couldn't go talk to him or anything.
You opened for him doing stand-up? I'm surprised he had the cardio to do stand-up, to be honest.
Oh yeah, he barely walks. Not only did I open for him, we decided the night before, me and Max Lorenzi, the comic, were like, he's like a big jacked dude.
Nice.
We were like, it'd be funny if like I had like a suit that like was like I took like a bigger guy's suit and I stuffed it with stuff, and I grayed my temples. And what I did was, in the middle of his act, I came out and hit him with a steel chair as Vince McBoy. And like tore his clothes off, and he had like a bra, and I put lipstick on him, and turns out he was like he wanted the whole thing where he was secretly Stephanie.
Yeah.
And put him in a coffin, and there just happened to be a coffin in this bar.
Yeah,
I
that's
able to put him in. And the best part was, I really didn't know how the audience at this like really shitty beach town in Jersey would take this, but when I turned to the audience and just yelled, "You're all a bunch of animals," they all applauded. I'm like, oh, great, we're in on this. This is great.
Yeah.
Everyone loves
awesome.
it. Yeah. He told a few Andre stories from Wrestling Andre. He mostly just talked about how that no one will ever know how bad it smelled in the ring while you were wrestling Andre.
Apparently,
dude.
Andre, didn't he hate Bundy? There were a few people Andre hated wrestling and would just beat the shit out of them in the middle of the ring. I think Bundy was one of them.
Actually, I know who he hated. He hated Bad News Brown,
Yeah,
Kamala.
he hated Brown.
Randy Savage.
No, not Randy Savage.
He hated
Virgil.
he hated his own liver.
I'm naming it.
Really
black
hated
He
his
was
liver.
naming black
I'm
wrestlers.
naming black wrestlers.
His
He's
liver's black now too.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you that.
He was a
hates his liver.
horrible racist, Andre.
Yeah.
He was known for.
You know, I can't verify. Matt, will you tell me? Wasn't there some wrestler that would like, as a rib, sit on an opponent's chest and like take a shit?
Andre did that.
Is that Andre?
Yeah.
That was Andre. I
Yeah.
thought so. Did they talk about that in the documentary?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
The time
That is a
Andre,
prank right there.
shit all over someone's chest.
Yep.
That's so funny.
Yep.
What
News
a
and
goof.
politics.
What a goof.
We're at number 11. Yeah, no, Andre. I think they said though he didn't mind, even though they hated each other. He believed that Andre was just sick. I mean, the guy obviously, his body was kind of a makeshift body trying to figure out how to make all this work.
Wasn't the thing like he had the disease he had meant he went through like multiple puberties in his life? So
Oh,
he
that's
like
sick.
hit another puberty in his 20s, and when he died, it was because he had started to go through another one.
Oh God.
I
Well,
think
I mean,
that's
Damn.
what it,
He
yeah.
has a tumor on his pituitary
Yeah.
gland. That's what causes the acromegaly.
Yeah.
Anytime you see
Oh.
people like this, they have that exact thing.
Yeah.
Where like at first they just get bigger and then things go bad.
Yeah.
And Andre, it's funny how he was so beloved. I mean, what a beloved athlete.
Yeah.
But, at a time when you could get away with just about anything.
Yeah.
80s, baby.
Yeah.
God, to be
70s.
famous in the 80s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
70s too. I mean, he was the big guy in the 70s.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I'm thinking of the great match with Hogan.
Oh, Hogan
WrestleMania
Andre.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want
And
to say
that
how-
was Andre out of his prime.
Yeah, yeah, it
also.
was.
extremely.
It was, but arguably one of his biggest matches.
Probably. The
Or
one
most
he's-
most
yeah.
well known.
I think
I
so.
just thought he was cool because he hung out with Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah. Cyndi Lauper was great in wrestling.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah, that
Good manager.
That is true. Yeah, I mean that early wrestling, like what I was always amazed about wrestling was like when they would add politics to it was the one time that like if we're gonna talk about politics in wrestling, I always think about the Iraq War.
Muhammad Hassan.
Muhammad, this is back when I actually watched it because I was trying to get
Yeah.
a job with them for a little while, and Muhammad Hassan and Scott Steiner were would always like feud, right? Like Scott Steiner was the representative of America, and Muhammad Hassan.
No, Hassan didn't feud with Steiner.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
Steiner feuded with Harvard. Yeah,
Yes,
my bad.
yeah.
But what they do is during the Iraq War, they had this guy Muhammad Hassan, and instead of giving him the old angle of death to America, yay Iraq, Muhammad Hassan would come out there and be like, I was born here. I love this country. I just happen to be Muslim also. And then everyone would boo because that meant he was the villain.
He would talk about how he got discriminated against. Well, he also
It was so confusing.
he did go against. He did say all of you Americans are racist. Like what his point he was making was good, but he did it in like a bad guy manner.
Yeah.
No, but the thing about Scott Steiner, I
Yeah.
remember during the Iraq War, the guy who went to Harvard.
Yes,
they called
Chris
him
Nowinski.
Yeah. He would come out there and him and Scott Steiner would basically say the real political talking points for and against the war. And they clearly thought the entire audience was pro-Iraq war, like in the beginning of the ramp up. And you heard the audience being like, You know, it's a little more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
Steiner.
Well,
a lot of
wrestling-
us have kids who are going to go to this war.
I don't know if Scott Steiner's the guy you want representing you in a political debate necessarily.
Well, wrestling now, the fans, it's not what it was. The stereotype like back in the 70s that they're just all dumb rednecks. It's just not like that.
Right, that was WCW.
Right, just me and Eli. We're the only.
Yeah,
two
we're the
left.
only two we're the last two OG wrestling fans where we just fit the stereotype.
Yeah.
But
Well, you guys both
they're
are-
nerds now. For the most part, wrestling fans are just nerds.
Yeah, that makes a lot of. It's like it's more dovetail with like the comic book kids.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It is funny though. To this particular episode, we do have what you would consider sort of two very, stereotypical rednecks. Eli is a religious guy from Alabama, and Matt is a Jew from Queens.
Yeah.
Who looks like this.
And is more redneck than me.
Yes, he is.
I don't think I'm a redneck at all. But
No,
like,
not at all. You come from a place
I come
that
from a
makes
place
them.
where, yeah.
Yeah, I always, and I'm like the opposite, where I have like redneck traits and interests.
Yeah, I have
but-
certain things where like people would cock their eye living around here, but like
yeah, there's some things where like, I remember I have a friend who lived down in West Texas, and I visited, and as soon as I got there, I was very obviously the city boy because I didn't know like about taking the truck to town. Like that wasn't my upbringing at all.
You look like you said yeehaw during your bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like he did a square dance.
Yeah. No, yeah, I haven't done a square dance. That's
what I call wrestling.
I saw Joe Dirt and it changed my life.
That's a pretty good movie. That's an
liked it.
underappreciated
It is.
movie.
I liked it.
Fred Wolf.
I still
wrote
do.
that.
Yeah.
Have you seen Joe Dirt 2?
Yes, I did.
No.
It was. It premiered on Crackle.
Yep. I remember watching
course
it
it did.
when it came out.
Is it Spade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was gonna say Matt looks like the guy from Queens who's never been to Manhattan.
The only thing is that you actually have a nice watch on that does not
Yeah.
go with your outfit.
Yeah.
Like I'm expecting like a Casio with a digital face.
No, yeah, my dad's really into watches, so he always will get me like one of the new ones. Dave looks like how my parents wanted me to look.
Yep. A respectable young man.
Yeah. with a job.
Yes. Well, that's a debate.
Just wearing headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. I guess I have jobs. I don't have a job right now. I'm juggling things, but we'll have an announcement soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some good stuff might be happening.
Good.
It's,
Nice.
it depends, but God willing, I'll be able to quit the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, just one other topic, and then we can just really I want to freewheel, and I just want to kind of keep bringing things back. Is it wrong of me? And I'm going to ask Marissa because I don't know if you know this, but she is African American. Is it wrong that I hate Kanye this much?
Oh, okay, that's not what I thought you were about to say.
The real Syracuse was going to
I
come out.
know, right?
Because Kanye had the thing where, yesterday he comes out with his MAGA hat. He's taking pictures with guys making the OK sign, which may or may not, in that case, been a white power sign.
Wait, the OK sign is white power now?
But the way they did it was a white power sign. They weren't doing like okay. Like they had it like.
Well, wait, the whole with the OK, was it holding a burning cross while they did it?
That's in their
OK.
heart.
I'll explain the OK thing. In the last year, a lot of alt-right guys said, hey, let's do a funny joke on liberals and tell them that the OK sign means white power because, they're dumb, they'll believe it. And they're like, that was the prank. Problem was, after putting this out there, all these alt-right guys were putting the OK sign in pictures being like, haha, it means white power. Which means it means white power now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you meant it as a joke. Now you're all doing it in pictures to be like, LOL, white power. It's the same fucking thing. The fact that you're giggling about it, just like with the Syracuse frat, does not change what you're doing. Just because you think it's funny doesn't matter. And so this guy says he wasn't doing a white power symbol. He says he was doing it like, I do okay in pictures all the time. Maybe in this case that was true. But
I think
I
they
see a
picked
lot
it
of
up.
alt-right guys suddenly making OK signs in pictures when they weren't before.
But I think
because
that
it means white power.
The alt-right guys took it from these white nationalist groups beforehand because I can't remember who because I don't really keep up with with all of these.
Just say Milo.
But like, I think it is supposed to. I think that they took it from groups that actually did it because it's kind of like the W, and then this becomes the P for the power.
Right.
Whoa.
So,
Yeah.
So that is the sign.
And there's also the fact that Pepe the Frog, who has been co-opted by
they took
the
frogs
racist
too.
alt-right area, and Pepe the Frog always makes that exact symbol, but he does it with the pinching, not the circle.
Interesting.
You know, and so when you see in the picture with that it's pinching, that's a little bit more evidence that you're like, that's where they're inspired to
And
do
was
this from.
Kanye doing that in the picture?
No, a guy had his
No.
arm around him doing that.
Yeah.
And Kanye looked like he was in a daze wearing his MAGA hat.
right.
We
Do you
need to
think
acknowledge.
maybe, you think maybe Kanye didn't know and the guy snuck it in there as a prank on Kanye?
I don't
knowing
think
Oh, I don't
Kanye
think there's
knows.
any way Kanye knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
I'm
know
not
this.
saying Kanye knew. I'm saying Kanye is letting it looks like Kanye is letting some old white guy be like, I just made the white power sign with my arm on Kanye West, you stupid,
Bitch.
Okay. Not the word I was going to go for.
What were you gonna go for?
Well, if I'm not using it, he can't.
I was going to go
Dave,
for,
what word?
The word I was going to go for that I thought this guy would be thinking was
Nero?
No, I was thinking the C word.
Cunt.
No, the other one, the one that means, black people. Just because that's what I think of these
there
people
are black
thinking.
cunts out there.
Yes, that's true.
Excuse you.
I
So-
did date one.
So, Dave, you are racist toward Kanye.
Yes. If he
Okay.
was white, I would not think as little of him. I think if he was white, I would think maybe he doesn't know better. But honestly, that you're Kanye West, you're the guy who said George Bush doesn't care about black people, and you've been spending your whole life being a voice in the black community. Yeah.
Didn't
I
he
think
also
that
tweet-
I mean, do you know better when you're literally the most disconnected human being alive? Like, he doesn't live. He's not human. He walks in the clouds. Like, he doesn't think like we do. Like, he's
That's true.
You know?
Well, that's the whole point of this. He, like Roseanne, is not really acknowledging the fact that he loves Trump for the same reason that he's doing other things that you would describe as mentally ill. I think Roseanne and I'm not saying every Trump fan is mentally ill.
Roseanne, you think like eating a lot is mentally ill?
Oh, Roseanne is out of her goddamn mind.
Here's the thing. I don't follow a lot of this shit.
That's okay.
I catch it in passing, but I'm not on Twitter a lot. I'm not on Facebook much.
Well, just to explain, Roseanne, in the last several years, has espoused basically every Alex Jones theory, believes that all the school shootings are fake. Obama is a gay communist, Muslim who.
But what does she
who's
believe
a
that's
Nazi
not real?
believer. Yeah. See, once again, we get all.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah.
It's a
What?
slippery slope, Matt.
What did she make up though? Like what? Yeah. What was where?
Well,
All
her
of her
show-
conspiracy theories.
Now, she said she basically any conspiracy you've ever heard about Obama, she believes, and she's said publicly she was calling those Parkland kids Nazis. She believed that David Hogg made a Nazi salute in that
man.
doctored photo because she's a fucking lunatic.
And she tweeted a Nazi salute at him.
Yes. No, she said the words Nazi salute. Like, she was accusing him of being a Nazi because there was, like, a photo of him, like, going like this with his hand
like
up.
raising your hand like in
Yeah.
a classroom, like you always do.
Basically, yeah. And it was just, no, she's sick. She said she has multiple personality disorder. She's talked about her sickness before, and I think that's why she's so delusional about Trump. Because even in interviews about him, she seems to have no idea the things he has said and done.
Yeah.
And she defends him in a way that you would identify as not a well person.
It becomes a doubling down point, like a doubling down thing. I think she gets this pushback from people who she and a lot of people probably find annoying, and so she wrongly is like sticks to her guns. I think a lot of conservatives are conservative because like they just believe this and they want to they want to fight. They want to like fight you. And they hate the people. They just grew up hating the people who disagree with them. And so
Yeah.
if they're coming at them, they're just going to double down and defend Trump like all the more.
I think some of them had one opinion that super left liberal like yelled at them for, and they just doubled down and became so much. I hate liberals so much that their entire personality isn't really for Republican or conservative or anything. It's just liberal tears.
Which is really, really dangerous. That's essentially the moral compass of the Republican Party right now. Is just anything that a liberal hates is good.
So you're like not like a Trump guy.
I'm not personally.
Okay, cool.
We've met. We got along, but I don't like his politics. No, it's. I think you're right. It's this liberal tears thing that like the Republican Party is acting like they don't know there's a future.
Well, anyone who says tears, well, that's not a liberal. I heard that way before. Like I heard, straight white male tears. Like, it's just one of those things where only hacks say it,
Oh yeah,
and I hate it.
Yeah.
There are certain buzzwords where it's just like, oh, you're just a fucking hack. Okay.
yeah. But I mean, that's what kind of happened. Is like it became both sides, politics and opinions. all this emotion got injected into everyone's argument. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, everyone argues emotionally.
Yeah.
Where 4 years ago you would have been laughed at for having that same kind of like, just lack of, just objectivity.
I think
and
a
just
lot of
being
politics now just is treated like a religious argument,
Right, which is
where
Yeah,
if somebody
pretty
if
much.
somebody like if you say like you could be I believe in God, I do all this, but I work on Sundays. Someone's like, well, then you're out of our church, and it's like you could be liberal on everything, but then you're one thing that's not liberal, and now you can't be a Democrat anymore.
And it goes both
yeah,
sides,
exactly,
Republicans and
yeah.
Democrats. We had this weird thing where everyone just was going out of their way to just feel like they're better than everyone else and just
Yeah.
trying to condemn everyone. The whole
That's the
glass
worst.
houses thing stopped
Yeah.
existing.
Yeah.
And everyone looked at the other side and said, oh my God, look at these people. I'm going to hate everything you believe in now. The problem is, anything you believe in, there's someone on the internet making it look bad.
Of
Oh yeah,
course,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And if you cherry pick...
there are people making Trump look bad.
Yeah, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
Usually himself.
Yeah.
He's the best at it because he's the best at everything.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Stable genius.
yeah. I mean, you could that's the thing. You could talk about Trump forever.
It's like, I don't.
It's this bottomless pit of horribleness that this joke of a guy, and the thing is they enjoy it. They think it's good that we hate him just because they hate us. And it's like you're allowing someone to do some really bad things to this country and
Yeah,
this
we're-
world
yeah.
just because you want to hurt half of it. This should not be a war of attrition.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, bringing it back to the Kanye thing. I mean, I think it's kind of good that someone who's super famous is saying something that's so like out of the realm of what you should be saying.
Well, that's why he's a kindred spirit with Trump. That's
Yeah.
why they're cut from the same cloth.
like
Oh,
I think
yeah.
there's some.
And
Yeah, I think there's.
I'll
some,
be honest.
yeah.
I think it's hilarious that Kanye is doing this.
Oh yeah, me
it's
too.
great. I know you're mad about it, but you can see the humor in it also, right?
Of course, I'm
Like,
making fun of him. For
I
doing
cracked
it.
the fuck up when I saw it. It's just I don't know.
Well, you're cracking up because you're being like, oh, God, you're being such a joke, Kanye.
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying, hey, this Kanye guy might have the right idea. I should look further
Yeah,
into
no,
Trump.
I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
he's right.
I don't
know you're
think. I
saying-
don't think.
But it's a
he's-
funny thing.
I don't think he's right, but I think there's almost a paralysis on like.
I do admire that he's sticking
Yes,
by his guns. with
exactly.
that.
It means
that he's
that
saying that and doing that. There's something kind of like wow.
Well, because we're seeing that Kanye cares a lot more about defending his narcissism than his race.
Well, I just feel like when I see that picture, he just looks like a modern day like minstrel. It's just like
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just like to me, he's like a black man in blackface. It's just like I just am insulted. I'm insulted by his being to begin with, but the fact that he is just so completely. I mean, he has to be insane. He is completely out of touch. But then at the same time, it's like. He has made so much money off of black people and people of color throughout his career, supporting him because, you know, he's going to be the one that's going to stand up to Bush and say, oh, Bush doesn't care about black people, and he's going to raise this money for black people during Katrina. And just to like fast forward to just be Trump's bitch. It's just like he's just like that picture is
That's
just
exactly
like
what he is. He is Trump's bitch
he's
over this.
he's Trump's bitch right now.
He
and-
attacked. I mean, he attacked George Bush for not caring about black people because of a natural disaster.
Right.
That yes, George Bush should have done a better job of cleaning up. I don't think it's because there were black people in New Orleans. I think it's because he was an incompetent president. I don't think that he was sitting there being like, "Oh, it's mostly blacks. Tell them not to help." For a
Also,
little
it's
while."
like partly maybe I'm just getting like maybe I'm like prejudiced. I think part of it's a Southern thing because if it happened in like Boston, I think it would have like I think responses would have been quicker.
yeah, no, look,
I agree.
It was a
Eli's Confederate blood is
unforgivable.
coming out.
Oh, stop!
Oh no, what happened in New Orleans was unforgivable. But to say that it was about, I'm not saying it was unfair. What I'm saying is the cross section of you said George Bush is racist because of Katrina, which is like a very complicated issue that, yes, of course he should have been destroyed for that. But at the same time, it's a lot of steps to say that this was specifically because they were black. Yeah, it's because they're poor, Southern, because he just wasn't good at his job. A lot of things were bad there. Conversely, Donald Trump has one of the most impressive lists of actual racist things of any public figure.
Well, this whole thing started. I mean, Kanye is also kind of a provocateur, but the whole thing kind of started when he praised Candace Owens, who's not like kind of the trying to advertise a new album like Kanye is. Like, she actually believes this stuff. Like, when you were saying it's like a modern. Do you think any black conservative is a sellout to black people overall?
I think you can be a black Republican that doesn't support Trump. But if you're gonna take like to me, Kanye is the same as that like Silk and Diamond. Like they're the same shit.
Them, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this is just a modern minstrel show, and so like, but I do believe that there are like black Republicans that for whatever reason they believe in being a Republican, but I also think that true conservatives are not pro-Trump because Trump is not a conservative.
That's
like
fair.
he doesn't.
No, he's just a monster. Yeah.
No, he really is. And I said, you could be a black conservative.
Because Candace Owens was the first like thing. Apparently, Kanye tweeted, "I like the way Candace Owens thinks," and that's the thing that blew up.
And then he doubled down,
By
like we were just
going
talking
for
about.
Trump,
People went
yeah.
after him, and he doubled down on it. And here's the thing: I do get. It's a thing where it's funny, but it's not worth it. It's like when Trump was elected. For me, there's something funny when I see white liberals freak out and have a hissy fit when someone is a black person is not black the way they want them to be.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love seeing that, but then it's not worth it to have Kanye be supporting him. It's the same like I get like voting for Trump. It's like a fuck you to the liberals, and the meltdown's funny. It's fucking undeniably a funny prank. But now we have think about it. Now we have 4 years of this guy. Like it's not worth it.
And he's doing
the laugh isn't worth it.
And he really is doing things. Once he was in power, it's not funny anymore. Even though it's funny to watch him because he's such an idiot. I mean, he was on Fox and Friends today, like a ranting lunatic, looking like an idiot all day today, screaming there's no collusion. You could just see that the guy just had a head full of steam and just started to call in the news.
Oh, he was on TV today?
He was on
But
Fox and
didn't he
Friends for a
admit
half
to
hour today.
the fact that
Yeah, he
Cohen-
accidentally admitted that Stormy Daniels was representing him, that the Stormy Daniels payoff was to represent him. He forgot that he denied that.
Oh.
And he admitted it by accident.
and that
today.
Cohen was representing him in the deal.
Yeah. Cohen is going to be the worst thing that ever happened to Trump. The walls are closing.
Who's this Cohen guy?
Michael Cohen is Donald Trump's lawyer, his personal.
And his fixer.
Him and his brother directed Fargo, right?
Correct. Yes. the good Cohen brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the other one. Michael Cohen is the lawyer who they call a fixer, like Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Like that kind of. That's like if you see that show.
And
that's
when he
that's
tweets, he
what about.
hashtags Ray Donovan. He's just
geez.
like, yeah.
He thinks he's like this tough, guy. He was the guy who famously sent a letter to one of the women accusing Trump of harassment and said the words, "What I'm going to do to you is going to be fucking disgusting," because he's that kind of lawyer.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah.
he's also the guy who recently found he only has 3 clients. So Trump says, I almost never use him as a lawyer. The problem is, the guy's got a very nice income. And he only has 3 clients. Trump, this other guy I forgot the name of, and Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
Right. The
Oh, that
other
guy-
guy
that guy
was
sucks.
he also works for the RNC, and Cohen brokered a deal with I believe
Another
a Playboy
woman, yeah.
playmate that had gotten pregnant. And so Cohen brokered this, it was basically like an abortion deal that she got paid $1.6 million to abort his child. And he was like the head of I think fundraising for the RNC.
Most guys feel like ballers just for offering to pay for the abortion.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, don't know if you've seen this, if any of you have watched porn recently, but when you do, there sometimes we'll have an advertisement come up before the video plays, and I've seen recently Stormy Daniels comes up and goes, "Hey guys, you may have heard about me in the news recently," advertising her own videos.
That's awesome.
Of course, Matt, of course you're the guy who watches the full ad before a porn video.
That's funny. Me and Stormy.
Of course
That's
you are.
great.
Yeah.
He needs
No,
something
I gotta
to
say though,
take
you
his
see
time
Stormy
while he's
come
getting
up, you're like,
lotion.
I'm gonna follow
Yes,
this out.
I thought that
Yes.
Stormy Daniels shit was stupid, though. The fact that everyone even paid attention to that.
Here's
I
the-
didn't like it.
here's the thing
You guys
about
probably already talked about this, so I don't want to
No,
retread
we
it.
No,
gotta
no,
talk
it's
about
fine.
it. Here's the thing about Stormy Daniels. Of course, no one actually thinks that Donald Trump cheating on his wife with a porn star is, something that should be the end of his political career
Yeah.
for that alone. The problem is Donald Trump's also a guy who attacks everyone for the most petty of reasons and supports using whatever process they have to destroy people he's against. So it's within our rights to say, look, if you did break the law paying her, you could have paid her legally, but you decided to pay her with campaign funds in one way or the other. That's something to attack her for. But also,
It's kind of like getting
let's-
Al Capone for tax
Yeah,
evasion.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, he had her threatened killed. He threatened to have her killed through a surrogate. A man, before anyone knew that these people had sex, in 2011, when it was not public knowledge to anyone, a man followed her into a parking lot and said, he implied, "We are going to murder you if you say anything about your affair with Donald Trump." That is conversation worthy.
Well, did he definitely hire that guy, though?
What other possible reason would a man do that.
I don't know. Someone who's powerful has a ton of underlings who do just go rogue. I think a lot of the time to impress and to do stuff.
You know
I'm
what?
not saying he did or
He's
didn't.
still kind of responsible.
Yeah.
If that's the case. But I mean, that's a big.
And that's kind of
The thing
like
that I think is so stupid, though, is that like Cohen's supposed to be this fixer. Why didn't he pay her in cash? Like, if he's going to pay her, the whole reason why all of this is coming out is because the banks were kind of trying to figure out, well, why is he sending Stormy Daniels this $130,000? He had to
a lot of
take.
money.
It's not even because
I'd fuck
130,000?
I'd fuck Trump.
God,
I mean,
I dream of
the Playboy
$130.
Playmate got 150,
Well, hold on a second. Trump
and
said
she
he
was
did-
with him for a year.
Trump said he never had sex with Stormy Daniels, and Michael Cohen said, I only paid her because of the accusation, even though it wasn't true. Which means, hey, guys, all you got to do is say you fucked Trump, and they're going to pay up.
Oh, dude, that'd be sick. If I just got like $130, that's all I'm asking. I don't need 130,000. $1.30, shit.
I said on a radio show last week that I sucked Donald Trump's dick, and I want $800 to keep
Well,
lying
here's the
about
thing.
it.
The way the thing you said about the Stormy Daniels thing, the way you logically broke it down, like, oh, it's because he uses muckraking, he does this kind of thing, so it's like, we're getting back. That makes sense, but I don't believe that's what the bulk of. I don't think that's how most people feel. I think it's appealing to something base in us, and I think that's. I think it's coming from an ugly place. It's the same thing when people like Democrats, like wanted people to not make as big a deal about Clinton getting sucked off in the White House. And they were right. Like, I don't care that he got a blowjob, but like now you're doing the same thing. There's so much you can criticize Trump for. Why
I think that
why
this
is
is
she
more-
getting a TV segment? Like, talk about his
Because it's
immigration policy.
basically-
because
It's an actual
she got
crime.
paid off 10 days before the election to keep her quiet.
And that's not legal. And John Edwards had to deal with it, the same thing.
Right. So it's like it's not, no one gives a shit that he fucked a porn star. But
I think a lot of people do.
I think that the fact that he had the story shut down right before the election because he thought it was going to affect the outcome, because he just finished having that thing with Billy Bush come out about grab him with the pussy, and then it's like 10 days before the election, now she's getting paid off. And I think that the whole thing is just, it is stupid. The fact that like we kind of figure, okay, yeah, Trump is Trump. He's a dick. He's probably cheating on his wife. But the fact that he's paying her off using probably campaign finances, has this fixer that literally like all he had to do was have the NDA. Trump signs it, doesn't sign it, whatever. Trump could say, hey, I didn't sign it. That's not my name. I'm not involved with this. The only thing that linked it back was the money trail between the two banks. And now Cohen is up for bank fraud because he lied about the reason why he sent the money. Like,
I mean, if
Yeah,
it's
that
a
makes
crime,
sense.
it's a crime.
I-
And everyone
yeah.
in that position.
The money thing, that like the way you're breaking it
just
down again.
pay
is-
people off in cash is my bottom line.
Well, yeah. What you're saying
Because
makes
then
sense.
you could
but
be like,
I
what money? I never gave her money. Well,
It was a catch.
I don't give. Here's the thing. I don't give a shit that he gave her money, even if it was illegal. I give a shit that he's deporting families and shit like that. And also, like the way y'all were saying it is like very intelligent, like makes perfect sense. But I just don't. The bulk of people, I think it was tabloid shit,
It's
and I
fake.
just
I
want to be
think-
above that.
and
Oh,
I
this
think
is
people-
Moneyball. Yes.
Yeah, I it's tabloid
think
shit, and
people-
the left like
Yeah.
talks like we're the like there. I don't know where I am, somewhere in the middle, but like the left talks a big game about being better. Be better then. Don't do what they did with Clinton.
Yeah, I think
When
they
what Clinton did was
know-
arguably worse because he was in a position of power over her.
I think they
know
know.
a death threat changes everything.
I think they know that
And they
more
didn't have
people pay
sex.
attention to Trump. I think they know more people will pay attention to Trump cheating on his wife with a porn star. I mean, that
Well, fine.
first broke like weeks ago.
Have it as
He
clickbait,
just bombed
and then
Syria a week
link
ago,
it.
and now we're done talking about it already. Like,
That's another thing. Yeah, that's what's annoying. People were still going to be talking about Stormy probably, but then not Syria. Like,
Yeah.
it's just annoying
Yeah.
to
I
me.
mean, you can't blame the people for wanting to hear about porn stars.
I can call it out though. I can say this is stupid.
no.
Oh, did you want me to?
Yeah, because we'll take a break and then we've got the next hour.
Okay, well, we'll be right back, everybody. That's the end of this particular episode of
You didn't have to do the
Blamestorming.
second bit.
Was I supposed to say something? I don't know.
No, I mean you can. I didn't mean like the second, but I meant like
I've never had to go to
break
break
and then-
before. We have to stop now.
We always go to break. I'm
Yes.
just the one that always just breaks.
Right, I know. I had no idea this would be my responsibility suddenly.
I said you're taking the lead.
Okay, yes, we are. Well, I mean, you're still here. You just
You got to book your two garbage people.
Yes.
You get to
Yeah.
take the lead. You got to
Yeah.
do everything.
she complains about all the you know whats I book on this show.
Whoa.
But white people.
The
Sorry.
the black cunts.
Because he only knows like 2 black people, apparently.
Well, I'm not from here. I lived in L.A. most of my adulthood. All my
He
friends
doesn't
are
know
there.
that they're just 2 people he roast battled that
No,
won't
and I'm one
respond
of
to his
them.
texts after the battle's over.
Yeah, you and Nico, and you've both been on the show, so stop complaining. All right. We'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, take a break. We'll do the second episode.
Sick.
Thanks, guys.
Of course.